Hello, I greet you and I thank you for your time. I hope you are well. Well, this is just a little bit of deliberation on the developments since after the 4th of October, when our dear sister Ruth was meant to appear in court. We've been patiently waiting for the updates from our brother Perfect, and finally, we've got something. And the court was on fire. So the case, apparently, that's the sitting for that day, did not hold because the court caught fire. Okay. Yeah, there was a fire outbreak at the court. I'm not sure if it was on that day or the day before, but for whatever reasons, due to this fire, the proceedings did not hold as intended for that day. Okay. How long has that court been in existence? Because I do not think it was built in the last 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. If I understand things going on in that country, infrastructures such as a court building do not get built or rebuilt or refurbished, maintained from maybe donkeys of years ago when they were erected. So I'm just wondering if anyone knows or can find out how long has that court been existing? How come there were no outbreaks all these years? That poor building has been surviving all manners of cases that have been presented there. And suddenly it's gone up in flames. Okay, let's agree, yes, the court went up in flames, caught fire. What about the report of this fire? I have scoured various places and asked a few people that contacts that I have there in that city and friends who know people in that city. They've heard about a court that was burnt or was on fire. There's basically nothing anywhere. So it's really bizarre that there's no news of this fire outbreak in a court. That should be in the media. All those fake media outlets that broadcasted God's love, that twisted and manipulated and exaggerated the story regarding the lost child. What happened to them? How come they didn't hear about this fire? Well, it's really, really interesting. It reminds me of the case of that wicked woman in Port Harcourt who had the orphanage, and how the news never made it to the mainstream media, but was just on a blogger's page, and then it appeared in the Mercy Shrine. This is really smelly. It stinks. Anyways, I'm also wondering, where are the random witnesses? Trust me, guys, when there is a fire, witnesses, you do not need to go beg them to appear. A couple of weeks or about a month ago, we had a fire outbreak where I work, which was due to nobody's fault. We were in the office and someone just ran to the office and said, we heard an explosion though, but we didn't think it was in our property, our premises. And someone came and was on the phone to the fire brigade. And when I came out with my colleague, the number of people who were standing on the premises, on the roadside with their phones up, people had their phones and just videoing. And I was like, oh, okay. So anything that's happening today in the world, you will always have the volunteer video cameraman who would be there on site to help you record what's going on. So where are those people who caught the fire, maybe on their mobile devices, which everyone has nowadays? Where are those people? How come nobody was available to do that? And of course, how does a court building catch fire, yet only chairs and papers were burnt? How did the fire start? Where did it start? When? How long was it burning for? And only chairs and papers. The roof, maybe this was the reason why. Okay, I'll answer my question now. Maybe this was the reason why the fire wasn't noticed by passers-by, witnesses in the neighborhood, because it was contained in the building. It was inside the building. So if someone had deliberately gone to light up a few chairs and throw some papers in it, controlled fire, controlled burning. Of course, they were watching it, burnt the papers, burnt the chairs, and extinguished it. So it didn't get to the roof. Because if that fire had hit the roof, I am very certain we would have the eyewitnesses, the bystanders, who would give us the real account of this fire. But that, aside from these bystanders, the media, they know themselves, who have been on this case reporting absolute lies and rubbish. They should be able to report that that court was on fire. Hence, the case did not hold. Sittings on that day, I believe, did not hold. Well, one thing I mean to say here is the fact that they can burn the papers. They can burn the building for all I care. But the truth cannot be burned, because the truth about Ruth Matthews' missing child and these bogus charges that have been placed against her, the truth about all those are etched upon our minds, on the hearts of the people who understand what's going on. So I do not know if this is the start, how many more buildings or things would be burned before they will eventually throw this case out. You cannot burn the truth. You can't. So this is just some of the questions that I have for this session. I might be returning with a part 2 because, I'm pressed for time right now. But yes, the court went up in smoke and the sitting did not hold. So we watch out and see what's coming. But I see the end of this case. Don't you? I'll see you later.